Smaller signed stuff, folder 3, part 1. Whether there'll be a part 2, who knows. Ahoy everybody, and welcome to the third folder of a look at my smaller signed bits. This is a bit of a funny folder, this was the original folder I used. Since then the smaller stuff's been moved elsewhere, and as you can see there are some blank pages in here, so forgive me as I flick through. But this, to start with, is Katie Hill, dedicated, as you can see, to me. I emailed her at Capital FM where she was a DJ, and she sent that out to me together with a signed letter, which I've already shown. This was an eBay purchase. This is Angela Douglas and Alan Dale. I keep calling him Alan Dale. That's a bloke from Neighbours and what have you. Jim Dale, even, from Carry On Up the Khyber. This is Daniel Keynes, an athlete who, unfortunately, injury plagued his career, so he didn't quite live up to his promise. Still on the athletics theme, we have Jade Johnson, who again, injury scuppered her career, and Linford Christie, of course, legendary sprinter. This is nice. This is a, so far, unless I mention otherwise, these are all eBay. This is a Nevermind the Buzzcocks question card, signed by Phil Jupitus, Bill Bailey and Mark Lamar. So Mark was host, Phil and Bill were team captains at the time. This is for the next lines round at the end. So Mark would have said, I'm sticking with you, and they had to guess because I'm made out of glue. This is Martine McCutcheon. So this was a pre-printed signed photo that she has added a genuine signature to. Again, eBay. This is Kirsty Gallagher. Trying to remember if this was... No, this, I think this was eBay. As was Lisa Faulkner, who's an actress who was in Casualty and The Lover and various other bits, and is now probably best known since winning Celebrity MasterChef. She's become a cook. Johnny Vegas, the second lineup of the Sugar Babes, probably authentic, but I'm not certain. If you're offended by strong language, sorry. Kevin Bloody Wilson, get fucked, Kevin, or Kev. This was a bundle with other stuff. I'm not a fan of Kevin Bloody Wilson, but it was a bundle with some other bits. Atomic Kitten, the second lineup again. Liz, Jenny, and Tash. She might be the third lineup because I think there was somebody in it before they achieved fame. Toya Wilcox, just signed as Toya. Robert Powell and Lisa Goddard. These are all theatre flyers, obviously. John Challis and Sue Holderness, better known as Boise and Marlene from Only Fools and Horses. Joe Pasquale and Wayne Dobson, who was the support act, the magician. Julian Clary, Tracy Shaw and Jason Connery, who toured in the Blue Room. Billy Piper, let's get this one out because it's not clear because it's signed in red. Catch the light. Happy with the authenticity of that. Because it matches my in-persons. Mystique, including Alicia Dixon. Happy with the authenticity of that, but Alicia's definitely authentic. League of Gentlemen, the acting members, Reese, Mark and Steve. Doesn't have Jeremy on it. Again, still all eBay. Happy, that's definitely authentic. Matches all the other ones I've got of those. Steve Davis, that matches my in-person. Edith Bowman. This was part of the, if you watched the previous part, I bought a bundle of 100 autographs, a job lot on eBay, which I did an unboxing of on this channel a long time ago now. This was one of these. This is Tony Pulis, Football Manager. This was in it as well. This is Faith Brown. This was an eBay purchase. This is a flyer for a show I did see when it was on in Portsmouth. So this was Maximum Rhythm and Blues, headlined by the Manfreds, and that's signed by Paul Jones, and I think that's Mike Darboe, but I'm not certain. And it's also, they have special guests were Chris Farlow, Alan Price and Cliff Bennett, and can't quite make out, but that's signed by Alan Price and Cliff Bennett. Julie Graham, it's a sort of a sticker attached to a stage flyer. This was part of that 100 job lot. This is Camilla Dallarup, the Strictly Professional, who was also in the Jungle. This was also part of that bundle. It's Julie Welch, who's an author of some sort. This is eBay. This is the then cast of Food and Drink. So it's Emma something, Oz Clarke and The Thief. Anthony Warhol Thompson. Emma... Let's have a look. Quick Google. That was Emma Crowhurst. This is a flyer for a panto I actually went to, but this was an eBay purchase many years later, signed by Andrew Sachs, Manuel from 40 Towers. But I was in 18, we went to see that. This is part of the 100 bundle. Jim Crace, another author, as was this, Bernard Levin, the political writer. This was eBay. This is flyer for Speed the Plough, signed by Neil Morrissey, lovely Gina Bellman and Nathaniel Parker. This is eBay, Graham Norton, part of that 100, Douglas Dunn, again another political writer. This is Bevis Hillier, not political because it's about Betjeman, but a writer. This is eBay, Sarah Stockbridge. She started her career as a model, did a lot of work with Vivienne Westwood, then went into acting, did a load of comic strips and various other bits. I think she was in EastEnders for a while. eBay again, Eric Idle. This was part of the 100. This is James May of Top Gear and Grand Tour fame. Again, part of that bundle. This is Helen Anker, who's a opera, I think she was, star. Brian Cox, the actor and opera professor. Again, part of that 100. As was this, Tony Maudsley, best known from Benidorm. This is eBay. This is Ronnie Barker. Same bundle, I think, was Mariam Darboe, Michael Palin. Norman Lovett, another eBay. Part of 100 was David Malouf, another writer. And Margie Clark, again, part of 100. This was an eBay purchase. This is a preprint on the front of the Red Dwarf cast from series 8 or 7. 7 or 8. But on the back it is signed by all of them except Craig, Norman Lovett, Chris Barry, Danny John Jules, Robert Llewellyn and Chloe Annette. So that was eBay. As well as Hattie Hayridge. This is another one of the 100, Steve somebody. Don't really matter. Nobody's heard of him. And this one as well. Somebody else. I'm not going to bother sticking their names up. If you're really interested, go back, find my unboxing of that haul, or have a look on my website. This was eBay. This is Richard O'Brien, creator of the Rocky Horror Show, and obviously presented Crystal Maze. This is eBay. This is Kylie. Happy with the authenticity of that. John Cleese, still eBay. As was this one of All Three Goodies, signed by Bill, Graham and Tim. This is a Christmas card from Keris Matthews. She released a Christmas album called Baby It's Cold Outside. And this is a dedicated one. Some are in here probably, yes. When we ordered them, we were told they would be dedicated. And if we needed them dedicated to somebody other than ourselves, to let them know. So if it was a gift for somebody. So because it wasn't, I didn't say make it to Martin. So when the CD came, it came with this one that was just signed. So I emailed them and said I understood it was going to be personalised if we, to us, unless we said otherwise. And they said, oh yeah, things got confusing. We've got one left, which as you can see was a bit bent up, but they got careless to personalise it for me. This was obtained for me by my manager. He was on a cruise, and Darius Campbell, formerly Darius Dinesh of Popstar fame, was on the cruise as an entertainer, not as a guest. And he got this signed for me. I have subsequently met Darius twice, both times after performances of Funny Girl, and he is a really, really nice guy. These are two photos of A League of Gentlemen, both signed by Steve Pemberton. So I wrote to Steve and Reese following Psychoville, their series they did in between League of Gentlemen and Inside Number 9, and sent photos from Psychoville to ask them to sign for them. They were both returned, and both of them, in two separate envelopes, came with one of these signed by Steve. So even the one I sent to Reese came back with one signed by Steve. Who knows? This has been shown on the channel because I was one of the first 100 or 150 or whatever it was to order the Goodies DVD box set from Network. I had one of the certificates, and there it is. And actually, as you may know if you've watched that video, my certificate was missing from my package, but they did send it to me separately, but I'm sure I added it onto the video. Or I've definitely shown it on a video anyway. But that's signed by Tim Battaglia, Graham Garden and Bill Oddie. And yes, Talia was just a slip of a tongue then, before anybody jumps on me. Let's see, there's definitely more in there. This was an eBay purchase. This is a flyer for the play Mum's the Word, signed by Imogen Stubbs, who's one of my favourite actresses. This was when I joined the Duke Special Fan Club. I received this signed photo, signed by Duke. This I've shown on my channel as well. This was when I bought the Bananarama live book set from their reunion tour. Because I was one of the pre-orders, I got a signed card. What I didn't realise at the time was that it would be very specific to me, which was nice. This was obtained to me by an online friend. Mike Gatting was given a talk at the school that he worked at, so he got him to sign a little programme for me, which is nice. This was through the mail. I wrote to Emma, sent her a photo, received that back unsigned, but with this one enclosed. Definitely authentic, because you can see where she balls up the signature. And similarly, well, not similarly, because I wrote to Nell McAndrew. She signed the photo I sent, but also enclosed this double-sided one. Both sides signed to me. And I think that's it for this folder. Yes, it is. So that's folder 3 done. Again, reasonable time, happy with that. So there won't be a part 2 for this folder, but we have one more folder to get through, which I'm just about to film. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Probably be up in a week or so. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Thanks, bye.